Welcome to Blink, the Power of Thinking Without Thinking by Malcolm Gladwell. Obviously, blinking is important. Without blinking, you can't look over there. Except, by the way, I'm in Vietnam, Da Nang, so great job for me, I guess. Well, the point is, Blink is a book, and it's written by Malcolm Gladwell. He basically goes ahead and tells us how we humans go ahead and bite-size everything and quickly make decisions in random seconds that are actually way more helpful than actually longer thinking about it. So what the heck does that actually mean? Well, this. You're an art dealer and you're looking at an art piece of a statue, a piece of art, and then you immediately realize it's a fake. In 0.01 seconds. Even though there's multiple proof that it's actually real. You're a cop and you actually have to go ahead and shoot. Well, you have to choose to shoot or not shoot. Or you are a psychologist who can predict a couple's future in minutes. And all of those situations are actually when you're always going to have to go ahead and make decisions under a blink. Some are more intensive than others. Others are a bit harder to do. But there are moments. In fact, Blink is just a book about those moments when you go ahead and understand it. Now, this video is not going to be a summary of Blink. That's what the book is for. I'm just going to go ahead and in this review tell you why you should read Blink and why it will help your life, as well as probably go ahead and do things way better than other things. Now, when a certain person bought this book for me, that person bought the book because of this. The power of thinking without thinking. So that certain person who bought the book for me thought it would be about how to memorize information as soon as you read it, which unfortunately does not exist. Instead, this book is actually about making decisions really, really quickly. Our brains are hardwired to actually make decisions. That's how we, as Homo sapiens, actually went ahead and survived this long as well, too. We're smart, but most of us would rather think about short term rather than long term because, well, unfortunately, primitive humans only needed to care about short term. That was because even though we were hunters, we could also easily become the hunted. And so primitive humans only needed to care about now, because there was a 40% chance that they would be dead tomorrow. Actually, that 40% wasn't accurate, I just made that up. But as humans civilized, that certainty of chance actually went ahead and lowered to the point of literally just 1%. Okay, this is actually false, the number's probably a bit smaller or higher. Point is, our human brains have never actually really adapted to that, so they could actually make decisions really good. One thing that I found, though, is that we can go ahead and use our brain's short-term decision-making to actually go ahead and make decisions for the long run, because, well, now we actually have way more decisions to make. But while primitive cavemen only needed to know how to make tools, what to eat and not to eat, and what I can be eaten by, and a mate, nowadays we actually go ahead and have a little bit of a knowledge. And if you finish school and university, you get an actual good little piece of paper that proves it. And since we have known all this information for a very long time, our brain adapts to this information. And instead of using their short-term decision-making for actually, surviving, they go ahead and make instant decisions for us, which are sometimes probably better than thinking. That does not mean decisions made in 0.01 seconds are better than decisions that take 5 minutes to make. It's just that some decisions are actually way better to be made in 0.01 seconds, because they actually go ahead and create heavier happiness. And it's also proven that if there are too many decisions and variables to create, or at least think about, a quick think decision is actually way better. Because then our brain immediately goes ahead and thinks of the ones and goes ahead and creates a path for us really quickly because we don't think. It makes up a decision, but then most of us actually go ahead and think that, okay, that was stupid, I didn't think about it at all too much. And then we try to go ahead and think about each scenario that could happen. And eventually we go ahead and choose a scenario that's probably not the best for us. At least in times when there are so many variables involved. When there are less variables involved, usually thinking is actually way better. So when to think and when to blink. When you're actually going ahead and creating important decisions that should be created within seconds, well, I think blinking is the best. This is my own personal opinion. But let's say for those decisions that you're allowed to go ahead and take minutes to think about, but you could also choose to blink them. Well, personally, if this is how I would go ahead and do it. If there are like less variables involved, go ahead and think about them because I can think about most of them. But then I go ahead and make my blink decision. Well, this is what I would do. I think about this decision and I consider it, but then I go ahead and go using the sync decision, which probably is a bit different, and then I compare them. If by chance they're actually the same, well then that basically means, well, good job, brain, I'm going to rely on blink a lot, but don't rely on blink all the time. Go ahead and use syncing decisions for actual important decisions that you're allowed to make time on. But then always think and remember that there's a blink decision. So I recommend the blink decision first and then do the sync decision. Now I promise that this will be a summary of the book, and I didn't actually summarize the book. I'm going to tell you why you should read this book as well too. Blink is an awesome book because it goes ahead and tells you about, as the description tells it, the power of syncing. Except, instead of thinking, you don't think about it at all. Your unconscious brain goes ahead and tells you about it too. When I actually finished reading this book, I tried blinking a lot, and up till now, it's worked out pretty good. 60% chance of no regrets. But then again, of course, there's a 40% chance of regrets. So I learned when not to blink and when to blink and when to sync. You're probably going to create those decisions yourself. When you're a cop and you need to decide when to blink, well, you actually have to go ahead and make the right decisions and the right syncing, right blinks, or else, well, if you're going down the wrong path, that's different. Then again, human judgment is always kind of is a human judgment. It's good, it's human. But thinking about it and to make a mistake, that's seen as very inhumane. So blinking is great when you're like let's say I want to buy some furniture, but then when you go ahead and try to buy some cheap Tupperware or something, well, I think that's when you need to think about it. When something's expensive, usually blinking is great because your brain automatically thinks about things, and expensive things are actually way better for your brain to think about. Well, cheap things, well, you think about them because they're cheap, so there's not much difference if you buy something else. There's not much more reward there. But then again, there's an experiment here that happened. Some people bought some person surveyed some people about who bought things from cheap stuff, and they asked, do you blink or do you sync? Some the people who thought about it, they eventually had happy results than the people who blinked about it weeks later. But when you switch to, let's say, IKEA, the people who thought and the people who blinked, when you compare them, the people who thought about the furniture actually got way better results because, well, IKEA, it's way more expensive and you actually have to, and if you regret your decision, well, unfortunately for you, you just waste a lot of money, and if you show the receipt, sorry, bye-bye, I guess. And there's not much more actually to go ahead and talk about it. So go read Blink because it will change your life, and it'll also probably make you think way better about how you live and how you act about things. Blinking involves actions that goes ahead and makes decisions for you. Instead of going ahead and making you think too much about something, you can go ahead and make quick decisions and also probably make the rest of your life way easier for you because now you have more time to spend on, say, watching Netflix and enjoying food and enjoying Netflix. That's it. So thank you for watching my review about Blink. Go read it. It's not about memorization, it's about decisions. So I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, peace. Bye-bye.